It's been 50 years since the movie Jaws kept people out of the water, but a new documentary filmed off the coast of Lunenburg aims to portray sharks in a new light. Oceanographer Greg Trouse is part of the team that filmed in Lunenburg last fall. Well, tell me what it was like filming this documentary right here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's been massively eye-opening for me. I mean, I've been involved for about 5 years, and prior to, I mean, I knew that there were some sharks around, but it's really blown my mind. It's the amount of awe that I have for the magnificent beings that are white sharks is absolutely incredible, and it's really shifted my relationship from like kind of as a kid growing up scared of sharks due to the betrayal and Jaws and things like that, and then being able to go out and live it and experience firsthand is something that I'll always be grateful for.
Well, how many close encounters did you and the rest of the crew have?
We've seen almost 60 sharks. So based on photo identification and cross-referencing that with other sharks and other researchers, I think the number is 59 different white sharks we've seen over the past 5 years.
Well, now, when people think of sharks, in your opinion, what do they get wrong?
It's that portrayal of the mindless killing machine monster, right? And a lot of that comes from different portrayals that we've seen of sharks. And in particular, it's something that I've chosen not to dive into. Like I still haven't seen the movie Jaws. I mean, I give it credit for, I mean, it has led to more interest in sharks and things like Shark Week. But it's not a message that I want to bring into my body and my relationship with the sharks, right? So doing the work that we've done and observing them in real time, one of the big shifts from that I've seen is that sharks are very curious and cautious when moving through our zone of research and take quite a while before allowing themselves to be seen on the cameras or interacting with our baits.
Well, how do you think the documentary might change their reputation?
I hope it shifts that from a more fear-based reputation into respect and an understanding and acceptance of different risks. And the documentary is really leading into research in that area of better being able to inform people about where the hotspots are and how that varies based on the season.
Well, how many sharks typically are off the coast at any one time?
The best estimates that we have right now for Nova Scotia is it's in the thousands.
Wow.
And that's an extension of a number. There's a researcher that has a field station on Tancook Island, and they have an array of receivers across Mahone Bay, and that's detecting in the ballpark of 100 sharks per year. But that's only the tag sharks. So that's sharks that are carrying an acoustic tag that's sending out sort of the equivalent of an acoustic barcode that gets picked up by receivers. And they've got quite an extensive array across Mahone Bay, so it's going to pick up sharks that are coming and going. And so if they see about 100 over that 6-month period, we then connect that to our observations where we're near 60 sharks that we've seen, but only 3 of that had tags. So that gives us a multiplier of approximately 1 in 20. This is early numbers, but roughly speaking, 1 in 20 sharks are tagged. So that 100 detections extends to a number in the ballpark of 2,000 sharks. And then it's important to remember that that is only over about a 6-month period where the waters in Nova Scotia are basically ideal for white sharks, both in terms of the food and the temperature. And that's ballpark July through October-ish. So when you take 2,000 sharks, 6 months, 180 days, that's in the ballpark of 10 to 12 sharks per day going through there.
Now, lots of folks are flocking to the beach this time of year. A fin sighting led to a brief closure at Queensland earlier this month. How much risk do we face by going into the water?
Honestly, I think it's relatively low at beaches and in relatively shallow water. That speaking, it depends on your activity. I'm a surfer. I surf at some offshore breaks where we know that there are seal haulouts and seals present. And my friend that I surf with a lot, Walter Flower, runs the whale tours out of Lunenburg and has been seeing a lot of seals and a lot of predations, in particular close to where we surf. So we know that's a hot spot. So we're calling it off for a few months. But relatively shallow water along the beaches, the risk is tiny. Like you probably have a higher risk of getting into an accident on the way to the beach than having an encounter with a white shark.
Now, there have been some suggestions there should be shark warning signs on Nova Scotia beaches. What do you think of that idea?
I think it's good. My understanding is that there's shark warning signs already up. So I mean that connects with sort of one of the driving purposes of our work is to raise awareness and let people know that sharks are present and have appropriate safety measures around as well. I believe that they're starting to put bite kicks just so that stuff is there. Like anything else in life, it's better to be prepared, right? But in terms of getting in and out of the water in Nova Scotia, I think like the one thing to be quite aware of is that the white sharks, and in particular the mature ones, their primary source of food is seals. So you want to stay away from swimming in around seal haulouts or with seals.
Yeah, some good advice and a fascinating topic.
Yeah, don't swim with seals. Don't swim with their food, right? But
very
it's
smart.
a balance. I mean, sometimes when surfing, it's nice to have one seal around as an indicator, right? So but you definitely don't want to be swimming around a bunch of them.
No, probably not. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. Like I said, it's a fascinating subject.
Yeah, thank you very much.